I don't know. Almost like squealing, high-pitched, creepy as hell.
Do y'all hear that? I stopped paying attention to the news quite a while back, only because most of it is just filled with people's misfortune, other people suffering, and that's usually what the headlines are. And I know you have to stay receptive to some of it, and I get what I need to on social media, I suppose. But as far as subscribing to news sites or paying attention to a lot of the blogs that cover the news, or even watching news television or radio, which doesn't happen a whole lot, I mean, all of these agencies have their own agendas, and a lot of the times they're just trying to promote anything that'll get them views, which is what I'm trying to do here. But on-demand content is nice because you can see what you're about to get. When you turn on the 6 o'clock news, you don't know what you're about to get, except that you might have an idea that they're about to talk about how someone lost a house in a fire, or someone got murdered on 9th Street, or someone got kidnapped, or someone went missing. And all of these are terrible, but every time I ever hear about a missing person, I really feel for them. Like, death is terrible, but people get closure with it. Missing people, I just could not face not knowing what happened to someone that I loved or someone that I cared about. Just them going missing one day and never returning is just, you know, people say they lose their children and stuff. Like, if my wife would just go to work one day and just not come back, how crazy that would be. Normally, people assume the worst after a little while, but there's always that strand of hope. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's definitely something that would be hard to deal with. Today, we're gonna watch an animation. All I know is it's by Stranger Stories, and it's concerning a missing person, because I watched the first few seconds. Make sure to head on over to Stranger Stories channel, click the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into the animation. People of the Box.
I arrived at Pinhouse Farm at 3:43 a.m.
Okay.
after receiving an anonymous phone call detailing the whereabouts of the missing boy, David.
Missing person, okay.
David Linfield? That's right, yeah. He had been missing over a year, presumed dead after a couple of hikers found his torn clothes by Fletcher's Park.
Man.
Mountain lion area. Well, you know the story.
Oh, mountain lions. You see, you always expect foul play. You know, like they got abducted, or they're human trafficked, or they just got murdered, you know. Animals, that's, especially in those kind of areas, man, animals can really be rough. And not just the crazy areas. Think about this. Think about you just walking in the woods, going bird watching or hunting or whatever, and a venomous snake bites you. Down here in South Louisiana, we have rattlesnakes. Rattlesnake bites you and you don't know how to treat it, or you ain't got a kit on you, you might not make it out of the woods if you by yourself. It's just straight up, man.
Yes. The caller claimed he had seen David up by the farm, so they sent me up here to look around. Just you? Well, yes. We didn't really think we'd find him, you know. So you arrived at the farm? Yes, the farm, as you know, has been abandoned for decades after the accident. The family. Nasty business before my time.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, I decided to do a thorough search of the house first. And? Nothing. Dust and bird shit. So you cleared it?
So an abandoned house?
Yes. It took me about half an hour or so. Gigantic waste of time. I was ready to roll back home, you know, when I heard the noises coming from the barn.
Uh-oh.
How would you describe them? I don't know. Almost like squealing, high-pitched, creepy as hell.
Do y'all hear that? Oh my god. So you by yourself as a police officer. You got a flashlight and a gun, and you're investigating a dark house. Courage level through the roof, okay? You are expecting people, you know, possibly. You're armed, you're ready to shoot someone if you have to, and all of a sudden, you hear a squealing. To me, that kind of sounded inhuman. It might have sounded like a beast. It might have even been a monster, I don't know. But it's coming from the barn, and you still got a job to do. Man, the set on this guy, bruh.
I figured maybe a deer or something had got itself stuck or wounded, so I grabbed my rifle before heading in.
So it might have just sounded like an
And
animal.
what did you find? You already know exactly what I found.
Uh-oh.
For the record, Henry. Right. I found the boy. Didn't I? David, whatever his name is, Linfield. Where? In the barn, Jonah. Details, Henry. He was in a box. First thing I saw when I entered the barn. A tiny box, maybe 2 by 2 feet. The sound, the squealing was intense,
What in the
horrifying.
world?
But I saw a glimpse of his eyes between the cracks. And I knew somehow that it was him. So you opened it. Yes, I opened it. You're alright there, Henry? Yes, I'm sorry, yes. What did you see? Well, it's hard to explain.
Okay.
It wasn't just that he
Try.
was in a box. You know, he was the box.
Wait, what?
What do you mean? I think he put him there on the same day that he went missing. Broke his legs and arms and all, and stuffed him in that tiny box.
Oh, you heard the cracking sound? Somebody did abduct him, man. Dang. For a little while, I thought he might have just been hiding out like or something.
So when he healed, yes, well, he became the shape of the box, a box body. And then I puked my guts out there for a
He
few
lived.
before I raised my flashlight and lit up the rest of the barn. Why? There were more squealing.
Oh no.
The other boxes. Yes, dozen of them. Dozen of box people. You told the first responders you tried to remove David from the box.
They were all alive.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. What happened? I lifted him out of it.
Oh my
And then-
god.
He looked at me with a distorted face and those big eyes. And he what? He smiled. He smiled. And then he said something. Something I'll never forget. What did he say? Please put me back, he said. Please put me back home.
Wow. Bruh. That is so weird. He had grown accustomed to it. How did he stay alive in the box? I guess whatever happened or whoever was doing that was feeding them. But their bones broke. Their bodies were disfigured and they healed in those distorted shapes. God dang, bro. That is deep horror. God, just strangest stories, y'all. Right here. Go check him out. Make sure to subscribe to him. And hey, if y'all like more stories like this, he's got a couple that I reacted to right here. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.